Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. There is none like the Supreme Truth. Walking in the truth, talking the truth, sharing the truth, living the truth, deciphering the Bible, and now seeing clearly that Yahweh tends to contradict himself as well. There was a channel I once listened to, and that channel that I listened to told me that the Torah is a perfect manuscript with no contradictions, but there Yahweh contradicts himself. In fact, I just posted a video the other day on that, right here, on my community tab. This video right here. How long does Yahweh's anger last? These are the Torah. How long? Well, if you want to go here and read this, I got 10 contradictions right here. You know, would Yahweh ever tempt anybody? Okay. So if you feel like going through those and reading them, then enjoy yourself, because this channel here is to learn. Okay, if a contradiction exists inside of the Bible, discernment is needed. Why has the Bible been tampered with? Because you gave what was holy, WHOLLY, what was pure, what was complete in the totality of the scriptures, and you gave it to the Gentile, and they wrote a Canaanite law. You understand? What you are reading today is mixed garble of both Gentile and the Hebrew, because this plane of existence is duality. In order to be taught of good and evil must both exist. So when was it created? When was evil created? It was created on the 6th day of creation, as I clearly teach at this channel, and I have plenty of content that goes over that. The crossing of the Jordan, we're here at Joshua chapter 3. Early in the morning, Joshua and all the Israelites set out from Shittim and went to the Jordan, where they camped before crossing over. After 3 days, the officers went throughout the camp, giving orders to the people. When you see the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord your God and the Levitical priests carrying it, you are to move out from the position and follow it. Then you will know which way to go, since you have never been this way before. But keep a distance of about 2,000 cubits between you and the ark. Do not go near it. Joshua told the people, consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Joshua said to the priests, take up the Ark of the Covenant and pass on ahead of the people. So they took up and went ahead of them. And the Lord said to Joshua, today I will begin to exalt you in the eyes of all Israel, so they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses. Tell the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant, when you reach the edge of the Jordan waters, go and stand in the river. Now, when I see the Ark of the Covenant, I always equate the Ark of the Covenant with the tablets of God. Okay, and that's what the Ark of the Covenant was to signify. It's a part inside of our brain. The tablets of the covenant are written on the tablets of our brain. All right, your left and right hemispheres. That's what I equate it to be with when you're walking with the Ark of the Covenant. When God writes his laws on the covenant, you don't need a book to know what's right and wrong. Okay, the Bible is simply a manual for people who want to pick it up and try to understand it, and you can't understand the Bible unless you're being led by the Spirit of truth. It's the only way that discernment can be put upon you, is it has to be the Creator. One, Okay, Joshua said to the Israelites, "Come here and listen to the words of the Lord your God. This is how you will know that the living God is among you, and that he will certainly drive out before you the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Havites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Jebusites. See, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of the earth will go into the Jordan ahead of you. Now then, choose 12 men from the tribe of Israel, one from each tribe, and as soon as the priests who carry the ark of the Lord of all the earth, set foot in the Jordan, its waters flowing downstream will be cut off and stand up in a heap." Okay, and this is important here. This is really important. This is how you will be known that the living God is among you. The living God that is among you. This is all crucial to understand, because you must understand for salvation that there's two races of people. Okay? There's a Gentile race, which are mankind, and then there's a human race, which are man. Okay? Man and mankind aren't the same, but they've slipped it in on you and made you think that mankind and man are the same. They're not. They're two different races of people. One race is created in an image of God. Okay? They're phantoms, they're ghosts, they're demons, and they're devils and gremlins. They're evil, all right? They're created on the 6th day of creation. And to God's glory, he said that it was good, whatever it was that was created evil. Well, I tell you that God gave permission to something to subcontract out this plane of existence, and that was the beginning. Jesus is the beginning. So in the beginning was the beginning of the fall. As the fall away is the beginning of this plane of existence, the creation of time, space, and matter. But I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He's not the God of the dead, but the living. So the Spirit, the one that gave the breath, you got to understand this is key, okay? So there is a God of the dead, okay? But Israel's God here, Yahweh, as the Bible's telling us, Yahweh. I don't worship Yahweh either, folks, okay? I don't worship any of the gods of the Bible, because the Bible's been hijacked, and this is why the Spirit is telling you, just come to the Spirit of truth. 4:24 of John says that the Spirit is spirit, and those that worship the Spirit must worship the Spirit and truth. The Spirit, the Spirit, the Spirit and truth. Say it with me, the Spirit of truth. Okay? He's not the God of the dead. He's the God of the living. But the God. So you have a God of the dead. Right here, there's telling you that there's two different gods. He is not the God of the dead. So if something is telling you that he's not the God of the dead, but the God of the living, then this is telling you that there's two different gods. Revelations 13:15 Bible Hub. The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause those who refused to worship it to be killed. The second beast is those that are created on the 6th day of creation, as I told you. I always get around to it. I'm always going to talk about it in every lesson. It's imperative for salvation for you to understand that there's two races of people. Gentile are not living, they're the dead. Okay? And then there was another race, and that race had the breath of God put on it. Now, God can't be omnipotent if he didn't know that that other man was going to come into the garden. The omnipotent creator had to have known that the first man, Adam, was going to come into that garden. So, what has the Spirit done to his glory? The creator, the supreme Spirit of truth, what has he done? Just like you feel like you're you, separated from me, your own personality of me, your own person, your own life, your own children, your own kids. I am my own life, my own children, my own kids. We are different from one another, but yet we are all still of one God, divinely of one God. All vessels of the Supreme Spirit. But the Supreme Spirit is telling us to worship him in spirit. He doesn't want us worshiping the flesh, because the flesh is an image of self. when you worship the flesh, you're forgetting that you're a soul. Don't get caught up in your flesh or the world or the possessions and the gold and the silver and the money and all of that. None of it means anything. Be at peace with yourself. If you have a minimum wage job and you are serving one God, the righteous creator, then he's going to be with you. He's going to guide you, and your life is just it's going to be fine. You know, the greatest piece of advice that I ever received from my brother was slow and steady. You know, people in this plane of existence want to do it now. They want the money now. They want the car now. They want the house now. They want it all now, and they want to do it without the work. Okay? So slow and steady is how you get there. If you go slow and steady and you don't drink, you don't do drugs, you don't take prescription pills, you don't fornicate, you don't lie to people, you don't cheat, you don't go to the bar, you're not bumping and grinding on a different woman every night of the week, you know, and you're just working, you're doing your time. Because that's what this place is. It's doing time. You understand? Now, there's different ways you can do your time while you're down here. You can fuck up, you know, and rob a store and do your time in prison the rest of your life. Or you could stay out and drink and party, and you can do your time in a toilet bowl screaming, "Oh, God, I'll never do this again. I promise. Just get me through this night." Or you can do time walking righteously with the spirit of truth upon your shoulders, reading and sharing the information, talking with people, setting them straight, and helping them to know what's going on inside of this Bible. And then you can live a better life. I've lived such a contemptuous life against the supreme spirit of truth, walking contrary to his laws, that I'm willing to accept anything that he's willing to give me as I rightfully deserve for the shameful acts that I've done. All the foregone mentioned things that I just said. I like to drink. I like to party. I pop pills. I did it all. I hung at the bar. I danced with multiple partners. I fornicated. I committed adultery. I am a sinner. I have sinned by the laws of what's written in this Bible here, the Torah. One God is saying that you have laws and commandments that you must follow. These laws and commandments were given to Israel, not Gentile. Gentile got their hands on the book. They're the lawless ones. They're the ones that have changed the book. And this is why me, White Raptor News, John Carpenter, is teaching you that there's two creations going on. There's two different types. One is without the breath of life, and the other one is with the breath of life. Seek the ark of the covenant of the Lord. Of all the earth will go into the Jordan ahead of you. Now then, choose 12 men of the tribes. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had already read that. Popping down here to 14. So when the people broke camp to cross the Jordan, the priest carried the ark of the covenant and went ahead of them. Now the Jordan is at flood stage, all during harvest. Yet, as soon as the priests who carried the ark reached the Jordan, their feet touched the water's edge. The water from the upstream stopped flowing. It piled up in a heap a great distance away at a town called Adam in the vicinity of Zarethan, while the water flowing down to the Sea of Arabah, that is, the Dead Sea, was completely cut off. So the people crossed over opposite Jericho. The priests who carried the ark of the covenant of the Lord stopped in the middle of the Jordan and stood on dry ground, while all Israel passed by until the whole nation had completed the crossing on dry ground. What an experience that must be to have army, you know, hundreds of thousands of people all in unison with one another, all divinely, supremely connected to the Supreme Spirit. The only way that I can explain God to you folks is that if God is the ocean, then we as nations and children of God, Gentile and those that are not, have two different gods, as I've proved to you. The Supreme Spirit is not the God of the living, I should say, is not the God of the Gentile. This is what you got to understand, all right? Now, if the Gentile wish to change, if the stranger within would like to change his heart, would like to turn back to the rightful worship of the living God, because right now, everything on this plane of existence is worshiping other gods and deity gods outside the separation of Israel. And this is why the Spirit had said to you not to go into the cities or the towns of the Samaritans. He wished you to stay out because you'd start worshiping the pagans. You'd start worshiping their idols. And an idol just isn't a piece of carved wood, folks. An idol is somebody who gets up on stage half naked like Miley Cyrus, sticks her ass up in the stage, squats down, rides power wrecking balls and stuff like that. They're showing you the truth. So it's time to wake up. Much love. This is White Raptor News Ministries. Peace.